Your mind is addicted to loops of pain. You wake up, breathe, react, and believe you're experiencing something new. But you're not. You're reliving. Every day, your mind rebuilds the same scenario with different pieces. People change, places change, but the script stays the same. And you call this fate. You call it life. But what repeats is not the world. It's your frequency. Your consciousness has been tamed to feel the same emotions, respond with the same impulses, justify the same decisions. Suffering became routine, emptiness, familiar, the cycle, comfortable, and meanwhile, time slips away, taking with it versions of yourself that will never awaken. Because there's something you haven't seen yet. The loops are not outside. They were installed inside and are fueled by everything you don't question. You were trained to repeat, programmed to obey, addicted to being what you were taught to be. And the more you try to improve life, the deeper you sink into the same maze. But there is a way out, and it's not in the future. It's where the cycle begins, at the exact point where you stopped choosing. In this crack, there is a blind spot that, once illuminated, disarms the entire structure. And that is exactly what you're about to discover now. You'll understand why life keeps spinning in the same patterns, even when everything seems to be changing. You'll see the hidden vibrational codes that sustain the repetitions of your existence and learn how to dissolve them with practical awareness. This video is a map to break the cycles your mind has normalized, not with ready-made phrases, but based on the hermetic principles of vibration and rhythm, ancient foundations that explain why everything moves in frequency. Modern science confirms it. Your mind reinforces neural networks through emotional repetition. What you feel shapes what you live. Here, you'll access a vibrational framework that integrates neuroscience, applied spirituality, and real self-transformation. And when that happens, the cycle doesn't just weaken, it loses control. Today, you won't just understand the pattern, you'll reprogram the field. Imagine someone like Logan, a quiet seeker. He reads about consciousness expansion, watches videos about manifestation, practices meditation whenever he can. But something in him remains restless, a feeling that all of this still hasn't broken the cycle. Logan moves to a new city, starts new relationships, takes on new projects, but within weeks, it all returns. The people have different names, the places different decor, but the conflicts, the feelings, and the outcomes are the same. For years, he thought it was bad luck, then karma. Later, he believed it was a lack of faith. But on a Sunday night, after yet another breakup, sitting on the floor of his empty room, he realizes something he had never put into words. No matter what I change on the outside, inside, everything stays the same. That's the moment he starts to observe. He notices how his anger resembles his father's, how his need for control mirrors his mother's, how his decisions, even the most conscious ones, follow an invisible thread, as if someone had written the script beforehand. Days later, in a deep meditative state, he hears a mental phrase that doesn't seem to come from him. The cycle is not chasing you. You are the one carrying it. That phrase changes everything. Because from that point on, Logan stops seeking external exits and begins to explore the inner field. And what he finds there reveals an architecture no one had shown him before. The story of Logan is not rare. It echoes in ancient myths, sacred scriptures, and modern discoveries. The sensation of repeating life is not just emotional. It is encoded in age-old traditions that have always pointed to a vibrational origin of reality. In the East, the Vedas speak of samskaras, mental impressions, so deep that they shape not just thoughts, but the events of life. According to the ancient rishis, every undigested emotion, every repeated impulse, becomes an energetic trail, and that trail becomes a road, and the road, destiny. What few realize is that samskaras are not a metaphor. They are crystallized vibrations that reorganize themselves into experiences, not as punishment, but as a mirror. And that's why, even in the face of new opportunities, many keep making the same choices. In ancient Egypt, the principle of rhythm describes the oscillating movement of life, like an invisible pendulum that always returns to its point of origin. But the initiates knew something deeper. Those who don't change their internal frequency remain at the mercy of this rhythm, trapped in the ebb and flow of inherited emotions, instinctive reactions, and unconscious decisions. In this view, the soul doesn't evolve in a straight line, but in spirals. And if the vibration doesn't change, the spiral just repeats patterns, like a carousel disguised as a path. Science, thousands of years later, reached the same point in a different language. Studies in neuroscience show that habituated neural networks become automatic circuits. Unprocessed emotions form brain shortcuts, and these shortcuts become decisions even before consciousness realizes it. It's as if the body feels and reacts before the mind chooses. The brain literally becomes addicted to repetition. Familiar pain is preferred over the unknown. 3 traditions, 3 different paths, one same pattern. What all of them reveal, in their own way, is that the loop is not an event. It is a program. Neuroscience now offers concrete evidence that recurring emotional patterns literally shape the brain's structure. Research from Harvard Medical School and the National Institute of Mental Health has shown that neural circuits frequently activated tend to strengthen. This is the basis of Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together. That means the more you feel anger, fear, rejection, or scarcity, the easier it becomes to access them until they become your default state of being. Joseph Dispenza adds to this by stating that the body becomes chemically accustomed to certain emotional states. In other words, you don't feel anger, you become anger. Your nervous system aligns with that frequency as if it were your identity. Brain imaging studies further reveal that the brain does not differentiate between a lived experience and one that is vividly visualized and felt. The physiological response is the same. What matters, therefore, is not what is happening outside, but what is being vibrated inside. And that's why the loop continues, not because of bad luck, but due to neurochemical familiarity. But the cycle only continues, as long as you don't see it. The first step is to locate the loop. This requires silence, observation, and brutal honesty. It's not about thinking positively or understanding your traumas. It's about recognizing recurring patterns in your timeline, emotions that return, narratives that repeat, choices that always lead to the same place. You can change your partner, your country, your purpose, but if you always feel abandoned, betrayed, or inferior, there is an active loop, and it's not random. It is a memorized vibrational signature. Identification requires tracking the emotional field. Start by observing not the facts, but the feelings that arise before, during, and after each recurring situation. There is always a root emotion, a frequency core behind the experience. This core, once revealed, begins to weaken, because the unconscious only has power while it remains unseen. Step 1. Write by hand, without filter, the main events that hurt you the most in recent years. Then, reread everything and observe the common feeling among them. Fear, worthlessness, guilt, lack. That's the scent of the loop. Now you have a way to track it. Knowing there is a loop is the beginning, but recognizing its emotional frequency is what allows you to disarm it. Every recurring pattern is attached to a specific vibration, and this vibration is almost always sustained by an unprocessed primary emotion. It's not about what happened, it's about what you felt and didn't know what to do with. When you relive rejection, humiliation, abandonment, or powerlessness, the body responds before the mind, and that state, repeated for years, turns into a kind of energetic signature. It's as if your field emits an unconscious request. Recreate this again. Decoding the frequency means recognizing which emotion has become your comfort zone, and doing this with precision, without romanticizing or judging. Step 2. Choose 3 defining moments when you felt that life defeated you. Mentally relive the scene, but observe it as a spectator. Which emotion pulses strongest? Where does it show up in the body? Identify it, name it, breathe with it, because what you can name, you begin to neutralize. Once the frequency is revealed, the cycle begins to lose strength, but it doesn't disappear on its own. This is where transmutation comes in. To transmute is not to suppress or fight the emotion. It is to allow it to exist without letting it decide for you. The loop feeds on your automatic reaction. When you observe with presence, without running away, the repetition loses fuel. Presence is the key, because only in the now do you have access to the point where the pattern manifests before the automatic response, before the justification, before the mental narrative. Step 3. Every time you notice the default emotion arising, whether it's anxiety, fear, anger, or sadness, stop. 3 seconds, breathe. Place your attention at the center of your chest. Feel what wants to come up, but don't act. Just stay there. This conscious pause is a vibrational rupture, small but powerful. It breaks the chain between stimulus and response, and in that space, something new can emerge. To transmute with presence is to stop being commanded and start commanding. As the loop begins to weaken, a strange emptiness appears. It's the space between the old that no longer dominates and the new that has not yet been born. This is the most sensitive and most powerful moment, because here you can reinstall something that was lost, the portal of choice. For years, your decisions have been shaped by unconscious repetitions. Now, it's time to install a new vibrational assumption. Who do you choose to be from this point on? The quantum field responds to what you sustain as emotional truth. A new reality begins to form when you vibrate differently in a stable, coherent, integrated way. Step 4. Write a new affirmation, simple and heartfelt, that represents the vibrational opposite of your old pattern. Read it out loud in the morning, not like a mechanical mantra, but as a living decree. Example: I am conscious choice in every moment. I vibrate what I want to live. It's not about convincing the mind. It's about taking a new energetic position in the field. The old reality doesn't disappear through opposition. It disappears through disuse. And this is where rhythm comes in. Tuning into the new rhythmically is choosing, every day, the same frequency you want to live. It's consciously repeating what was once unconscious. What used to be a loop now becomes a path. Hermeticism teaches, the principle of rhythm governs everything. But those who master vibration transcend the blind swing of the pendulum. You no longer need to oscillate between pain and euphoria. You can enter a vibrational consistency that sustains the new reality until it manifests. Step 5. Create a small, daily vibrational ritual. It can be 5 minutes of visualization, intentional breathing, or reading your new frequency out loud. What matters is that the body feels it, that the field memorizes it. Consistency is creation, and conscious repetition is the opposite of unconscious looping. The new only solidifies when it becomes your new normal. Logan began applying the 5 checkpoints. At first, it seemed like nothing was changing. The triggers still came, the emotions still surfaced, but for the first time, he didn't react. He observed, he felt, he took notes. He began to notice patterns that previously seemed like coincidences. The way he sabotaged himself whenever something started to go well. The discomfort he felt at the possibility of truly being happy. The impulse to repeat abandonment just to prove that nothing would ever change. By locating the loop, Logan saw that his deepest wounds always stemmed from a sense of invisibility. No matter where he was, he felt unseen. When he decoded that frequency, he realized he had spent his life trying to prove his worth, and that's why he kept attracting situations that constantly made him doubt himself. Transmuting with presence required discipline. Instead of exploding, he breathed. Instead of running away, he sat in silence. The emotion stopped being the enemy and became a signal. With each avoided reaction, a fragment of the old cycle lost its power. Then, one day, upon waking, he didn't feel that familiar sense of anguish. There was no inner rush, no fear, just presence. He walked to the mirror, and something seemed different. Not in his face, but in the way he looked at himself. There, he said out loud, "I am no longer what I was shaped to be. I am what I choose to sustain." From that point on, the portal of choice was installed. In the days that followed, new invitations began to appear. New relationships, lighter ones. Opportunities that once seemed impossible now appeared naturally. But above all, Logan felt peace. Not because the world had changed, but because he had stepped off the pendulum that made him swing between escape and pain. The loop had dissolved, not like magic, but as the result of a quiet and repeated change made from within. And that's what makes transformation real. When you stop seeking external breakouts and begin to operate from a new center. You might still think, but life is too complex to change just with frequency. And in fact, life is complex. But what organizes that complexity is a simple vibrational core. What you sustain as truth. The field doesn't respond to what you intellectually wish. It responds to what you vibrate repeatedly. The metaphor is simple. A radio station can't be heard by will, but by tuning. As long as you insist on broadcasting the same frequency of pain, lack, or limitation, the content received will remain the same, no matter how many rational decisions you make. It's not about ignoring reality, but about altering its point of origin. And that point begins within. Now, you're going to carry out a simple, yet deeply powerful practice. This exercise was created to break, in the body, the automated frequency of the loop and to install a new vibrational signature in your field. Do it attentively, without rushing. Close your eyes. Step 1. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 6. Feel your body slow down. Step 2. Bring to mind a situation where you felt free, not just happy, but truly free, without fear, without obligation, just presence. Step 3. Let that feeling grow. Expand it through your whole body. Imagine it fills your chest, your arms, your belly, your legs. Feel it as if it were happening now. Step 4. Now visualize a new reality. A concrete scene that represents the opposite of your loop. It could be a conversation, a gesture, a place. See how you move, speak, feel. Step 5. With the image alive, mentally affirm, I collapse the new now. My frequency commands the form. Step 6. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Carry this new feeling with you. Repeat this exercise whenever you feel the cycle trying to reinstall itself. You don't need to fight the old, just strengthen the new. And for that, memorize the 5 keys of the vibrational dissolution code. 5. Tune in to the new, rhythmically repeat, with presence, the frequency you desire, until it becomes your natural state. 4. Reinstall the portal of choice. Declare the new vibration clearly, and stay firm in it, even during moments of oscillation. 3. Transmute with presence. Feel without fleeing. Observe without reacting. The space between emotion and response is where freedom is born. To decode the frequency, name the root emotion. Understand what it asks of you, not what it screams. 1. Locate the loop. Notice where the pattern begins to repeat. That's where the exit door is. Each checkpoint is a movement back into command of your reality. You didn't watch this video by accident. Maybe you didn't even click by rational choice. Something in you, a part that's already tired of repeating, brought your attention here. And that matters, because now you know it's not the events that shape your life, but the frequency you are in before they happen. It's not about changing the world. It's about changing the world that vibrates within you. This content is not a pretty theory. It is a mirror, a map, a vibrational technology of real transformation. If you apply what you've seen here with courage and consistency, you'll realize the cycle wasn't a punishment. It was a request for awareness. The philosopher Carl Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." The cycle doesn't end with force. It ends with clarity. And every time you choose to vibrate differently, you uninstall a fragment of the old script. You are not what happened to you, nor what you were programmed to repeat. You are the field where everything can be rewritten. If this content resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Share this video with someone you feel is stuck in a repeating cycle. In the comments, write the mantra phrase, "I break the pattern and embrace the frequency of creation." This strengthens the collective field of those who are ready to live reality with awareness. Stay with us. Click on the screen now to watch another transformative video here on the channel and continue your awakening process. Remember, the loop ends the exact moment you decide to vibrate as if you were already free.